Zayas, Dr. Zayas. Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas. Oh, Dr. Zayas. Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
What's wrong with me?
I think you're crazy.
Want a second opinion?
You're also lazy.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
Dana Gould in studio.
I think that is from The Simpsons.
Yeah, mixing his two loves, The Simpsons. He's an executive producer of The Simpsons. He also loves The Planet of the Apes, which is out. The definitive DVD collection is out. 14 DVDs. Yes, I hold them in my very hand out
For
tomorrow.
the bedridden sci-fi fan.
And you, well, a lot of them are morbidly obese and can't go outside. Just waiting for the Meals on Wheels truck to swing by Mom's house.
If you ever go to Comic-Con in San Diego, it's great because these people, they all go to San Diego for this one weekend in July, and they have a costume contest. And people walk around dressed up as your favorite characters from science fiction.
Sure.
Among them, your favorites, sad lesbian Klingon.
Wow.
Morbidly obese C-3PO. Hairy Xena.
Yes, inadvertently, yes. Xena with stretch marks.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's nothing more pathetic than a pathetic costume when you see that the sword sheath is nothing but a oatmeal container covered with foil and duct tape like those, and when you really see that this guy sat home and made this thing, that is the pathetic part.
I saw the craziest thing I ever saw, which was a Klingon family. It was I swear to Christ, man and a woman and their 6-year-old kid all in full Klingon makeup, and that kid was bummed out.
Sure. Sure. And I guess the question is, are these people happier than we are? I know we lash out at them, but are we secretly jealous that they have a passion and a muse and we don't?
I think it's a lot of both.
We're all cynical. We make fun of everything. We can't enjoy anything yet, and they're looking forward to this months in advance and happily working away on their costumes.
Yeah, well, they live in a little, when I was a kid, I would pretend I was, because Charlton Heston, I think that's the reason I like the movie so much, was I have 4 older brothers, and my dad, they're all big, athletic, hunters and sportsmen, and I was none of that stuff. And I kind of related to Charlton Heston in the first movie. The world isn't the way it should be. I'm stuck in the wrong planet.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck Heston.
Evolved from men.
What did he say? Play that again. Well, Dana knows.
Planet where apes evolved from men.
Yeah, it's creepy.
He tugs from the back of his throat.
Chaz Heston plus sci-fi equals gold, If Apes isn't his greatest picture, then Omega Man certainly is.
Omega Man is one of those crazy dated 70s.
Yeah, that's
the man blew the whole world, baby, and nothing's groovy anymore.
Silent breed is people!
Your move, Imperator. He's playing chess.
It's a droll sense of humor with them.
Yeah, again, no current thing. Hello, kitty, what a scruffy little cat. No, he doesn't say anything a regular person
Well, the
would
other
say.
thing that's great about it is it's the year. I like these movies where, it's great if you hang around long enough, you'll see that the sci-fi movies, their end date was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So Omega Man is shot in, 1966, and it's like the year 1981.
Yeah, exactly.
Man is living in a suspended state. New York has been turned into a maximum security. It's like 1981, I was in high school. My dad was still driving a 1964 Volkswagen in 1981. Exactly. What do you mean? They needed to push it up 50 years, not 12 years.
Yeah, they missed New Wave.
They missed that.
Why did Chuck Heston, maybe you can, maybe you know the answer, why did he decide to devote his career to science fiction? Soylent Green?
He made Planet of the Apes in the late 60s, and it was, he was at the verge of kind of becoming a joke at that point. He hadn't had something, hadn't had a hit in a long time. And that was his first movie was a huge hit. And he just said, this works. And then he did Omega Man and Soylent Green and Beneath the Planet of the Apes. But I did Politically Incorrect with him. And the Bill Maher show. And I was like, who's on today? Charlton Heston. And I went, he
Wow.
like a coquettish schoolgirl.
Yeah.
And you can see
I get Niger Enos every time, and you get Chuck Heston. Yeah. I get an angry black guy, and you get Chuck Heston.
And
God damn.
You can see the tape. I crack up when I meet him. I can't believe I'm meeting him. And we disagree politically on everything.
Sure, because he's right.
He made some handgun thing. Yeah, I know, exactly. And
but it's hard to disagree with a legend, and especially someone you've masturbated to as many times as you have.
Exactly. And on the show, I'm like out of frame.
Actually, wow.
Furiously, like an orangutan in the rainforest spotting a bulldozer.
Safe Harbor was on after 10.
Exactly. But I disagreed with him on this one point, and we went, and it got applause because I made it look like a joke, even though it wasn't. And they went right to commercial, and it looked like I really stuffed it in his face, although that isn't what happened if you look at what I actually said. And he leans over to me, and I'm like, oh, please don't be a dick.
Right.
And he just goes, so you're an actor in Hollywood? How is everything going for you? And then we went right back. Hippies like him are trying to drive this country. Next commercial, I devised the Cobra health plan for SAG if you ever have a slow year.
Wow.
And he could not have been nicer, so I'll be really quick. So at the end of this show, I had a picture that was my Christmas card. It was my face over an ape holding him on a leash.
Wow.
And I said, I told you I was a big fan of the movie. This is my Christmas card. And he calls it, Lydia Lucas, I was on his Christmas card. And I go, and he signs it to me, and he goes, I'd be happy to send you a picture from apes if you'd like. And I said, yeah, I'd love that. He goes, give me your address. Wow. And no kidding, 4 days later, signed 8x10. I mean, old school.
Chaz Heston, yeah.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, I can't read the inscription. It's illegible.
Wow.
Happy couch, Charlton Heston. I don't know what the hell he wrote, but he really is a great guy. He was old school.
I remember.
Nicely done.
I'm trying to think, by the way, so, in the late 60s, early 70s, when he turned to this whole sci-fi genre, and I'm sure he lost a little face in the acting community, the hipsters, Sal Minios, or whoever the hell was doing their thing back in the day, probably looked down their nose at this guy. Too. Oh, that's right.
That's probably why you thought of him.
Maybe. It's interesting how the mind works. The point is I wonder if there's an equivalent to Chuck Heston now in the acting world, the guy who's...
In terms of subtlety, Nicolas Cage.
You say Cage, yes.
He's actually our Vincent Price.
Wow. I'm going to write that down.
He has the calm voice and the crazy voice.
That's true.
Just like Vincent Price. It was either this voice or this voice. I understand your car broke down. I insist that you stay here in the mansion. Don't talk to any of the paintings.
Wow. Well, that's a good laugh, and I think a good way to go out. I want to thank Dana Gould.
If you don't get laid with that impression.
Yeah. Oh, between that and the box set. And then, believe me, it really is a box set for Dana. You know what I'm saying? Believe you me, I've seen this man operate. Just bring that thing up to the Sky Bar, wherever the hell. Show it to one of the hipsters. Dana Gould, watch The Simpsons and go out and buy Planet of the Apes. Thanks, Dan.
See ya.